So in this video we are going to move on from the print statement. We're probably still going to use it, and we're going to take a look at that input statement that we mentioned in the first or second videos. So let's just comment this line out. Now a comment is a hash symbol, not hashtag, hash symbol. And when you place a hash symbol in there, everything after it turns red, and that means that the program will just ignore that line. I've only commented it out because I might need it later. It's going to ignore that line and just jump to the one after it. So I did say that we had two kinds of input, just a plain input and a raw input. And the plain input just deals with numbers, whereas the raw input, it is necessary if you are typing text on the keyboard. So if you're wanting the name of a person, which is text, you must use raw input. If you are trying to get some values to add together or multiply, then you must use input for numbers. So let's have a look at how that works. First of all, if we just use input as we did with string on its own, input, it's expecting the number. If I press F5 to save my program and run it, then in my shell it's just waiting for me to do something. So I can enter a number, let's say 45, press enter, ignore that. Sometimes Python, when you've copied and pasted or highlighted something, the next time you use an input and press enter, it tends to put that value afterwards. Just delete it and try again, and it works nicely. So I've just input the number 45. My problem is that although I've input 45, I've lost it. The program has no idea about the value 45 whatsoever. If I'm inputting something in, my program needs to store it, keep hold of it, so it can use it later. So if I try to print something out, I've got nothing to print. I don't know where my input went. So what I'm going to do is type in something called a variable, which will hold the value that I input, and then I can print out that very same value. So if I typed in 45 when it asked for input, that would go into value. That would be kept by the computer, and when I chose to print the variable value, then it would write it back out to the screen. So let's have a look at that working. So this time I'm choosing to input, and again I've just got my cursor flashing here waiting for me to do something. Let's choose 100. When I press enter, that value of 100 is stored in value, and then the next line, print value, should print out my 100. So if I press enter, there we go. So I've got the 100 in black, which was the number, and then the blue is the result of printing it out. Not very good. I haven't got any sort of prompt for the user to say what to do when they've just got a flashing cursor. I'm also going to shut down this window so that I can get a bit more screen real estate for it. Perhaps I could have a message first, so let me get rid of that comment and put, please enter a number as a print statement, and then the computer would wait until the person types a number in at the keyboard, and then it would try to print that value out. So let me run that program again. So there's my prompt, please enter a number. Now the computer is here, it's on input, it's waiting for me to type something in. When I do, that will be stored in value. So let's do 101 and press enter, and as soon as I've done that, it prints the value out. So that's quite useful now, knowing that I can print out a message to the user and give them some instruction. What I want you to notice is that when I did it, it put please enter a number on one line, and then it went down to the second line waiting for the user to enter a number. It might be nice if we could actually have them type 101 right here, and there is a way that we can do that. So I'm going to just change my program to do that. Now if we are using input, inside these, they're called parentheses, open and close brackets. If I take that string and I'm going to copy it, Control C and press Control V to paste it inside there, that is a sort of combination of these two lines, print and value equals input. I can actually delete this line now. And so that is like using a print statement as well. The difference is this time is that it's going to wait for me to type in a number, but it's going to wait on the very same line. So if I run my program and click OK, there we go. It's on the same line. This time when I type 100, well, let's make it 102 and press enter, now it's printing out my 102 beneath it. So all of that works on one line. It's like input and then a print statement. So that saves me doing it on two lines. I cannot put two statements on one line naturally, so I can't no, I can't do this. Value equals print. Please enter a number and then input. Let's get rid of that. I cannot do that. In any way, it will give me an error. There we go. I've got a syntax error. It's saying I can't use the print on that line. I can't sort of join them together with a plus symbol. That won't allow me to do it, and I can't join them together using a comma. It just won't allow me to do it. It's always telling me that I've made a typing mistake, and the reason is that I'm only allowed to do one statement per line, and you can tell what statements are. The print statement is coloured orange. The input statement is coloured. Sometimes it's orange, sometimes it's purple. And they are telling me that I've just got one statement. So I can only do that. Oops. So to make it sort of work as two statements, an input and a print, I have to put my string in the parenthesis and let Python do the work for me. So there we have one way of entering a number and printing the number out. In the next video we will extend this a little bit, see one or two of the problems and try to get some text as well from the keyboard.